Hello there, Flakers. It's Victor. Give me a Flake Man. A lot of you are new. I've noticed. Check this out. If you know who the hell this is, then you're old. Nah, you're not old. You're just as young as me. We're still young. Check out the pod. Yeah, all right. Um, no, I'm not insane. But just it's funny when I take it off your shirt. It feels like I'm flashing you. Whoa, even though I've got a shirt on underneath that shirt. Yes, Ross Perot for president. He believes in aliens, I think, right? I don't remember what his deal with. Okay, so funny stories to tell you. First of all, I read I listened to a really long ass blog. It's like 52 minutes. It's a podcast, I guess, not a blog. You can't listen to a blog, dumbass, moron. Hikosaemon's got an interview. You know, I don't know. Why am I so nice to that guy? You know? I mean, I do shout outs for that guy all the time. What has he done for me? Huh? Huh? Really? I mean, he makes me look good in comparison, but that's about it. One of my students, Shinichiro, suggested Suntory whiskey. It's not bad. It's not bad, you know. I've already, all the ice is melted. Now it's like whiskey and water. It's alright. Just a little nightcap before. It's 2 a.m. I'm gonna really kick ass in May. I'm trying to bring up my YouTube, my internet level a little bit. I'm working out a little bit. Can you tell? I've been working out. You know, you can't really tell, huh? I'm so tiny. But anyway, I've been working out because I know I gotta show you the 6-pack for the subscribers. You know, people have been asking about that. Nobody's that was just a lie. I just pulled that out. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna leave it in because I deserve to be embarrassed. That's how lame that was. So many things to say. Okay, let me cut to a couple things. First of all, let me answer a couple emails that I got. First one is from some guy in Jamaica. All right, some guy in Jamaica emails me and he's like, "Do you think I can get a job?" First of all, if you email me, first of all, you really should not be emailing me about whether you can get a job in Japan. I don't know. And don't email me, ask me if you can work for my school. I'm not hiring anybody. And if I were, probably wouldn't hire off YouTube. No offense, but come on, you read some of the comments and some of the applications, like misspellings in there. One guy today, I'm not even going to say, there's 2 guys who emailed me, one of them full of misspellings. Is that a word, misspelling? Yeah, full of misspellings. Sounds strange for some reason, maybe because it's 2 in the morning. The second guy, at least he told me his nationality. But first of all, if you're going to email me and you don't tell me anything about your education or nationality, I said this before. Come on, I don't even know. And, you know, Google it. In fact, you know what you should do? Go to Lauren Nihon's video. Lauren Nihon has a really, pretty long but very informative video on the whole thing. Quit bothering me. I'm not looking to get a job, so I don't know. You know? Sorry, I don't know. I'm not interested in that. I make videos about stuff I'm interested in. You should watch my videos for other reasons, but I'll be honest with you, you know. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me. I was supposed to be ignoring you. Remember, I told you I was going to ignore everybody, but you know, you guys keep emailing me and I keep answering you. But, okay, so that's one email. A guy from Jamaica asked if he can come to Japan not with a degree, but with a seafarer's license. I don't know. Never heard of anyone doing that. I would say I doubt it. But maybe it's possible. I don't know. Google it. Find someone who's done it. If one man has done it, another man has done it. There's a movie with Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins that I really liked, but apparently Anthony Hopkins thought it was crap. I thought it was pretty good though. But one of the things they say in that movie is, if one man can do it, another man can do it, which really affected me because a lot of people talk about like racism in Japan. And how keeping down, you know, what's the point of bitching about racism? Because in the end, if one man has succeeded, then you can too. And yeah, so maybe there's some racism or xenophobia or some hurdles to. There's always hurdles for everybody. For some people it's racism. For other people they're stupid or ugly or fat or short. Everyone has problems. Everyone's going to be, you know, everyone has barriers or hurdles to jump over. So. You know, some people have problems, all kinds of problems. But you know, if one person with your problem has succeeded, you can too. So stop making excuses for yourself, you know, and bitching about it. Come on, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Blaming other people for, yeah, okay, we gotta help change it, but you're not gonna change it by just bitching about it. Find a solution. Anyway, so So I got to link it to Hikosaimon's long interview with some guy named, I think his name is Alex or Anthony. I forgot his name. I think I know him. I think he's from Bad Communication, but I'm not sure. I think he's from Tokyo. I think he's contacted me before, but until I meet a guy, really interact with him, I can't remember who he is. So that's one thing. But it's a very interesting interview of Hikosaemon, and at the end of it, he gets to the fact that, you know what, there is some kind of racism here, but it's mostly, if you're white, it's in your favor. You're basically going to be treated very well, so shut up. That's basically his message. But you should still listen to the blog, the podcast. This is a very erratic video. I apologize. Not really. I don't care. Don't want to if you want to. Stop it right now. Get off here. Get out of here. Okay. So the second email I got today is from an Australian who asked me if he should take a break and come to Japan and work for a year. Would it be able to attain employment? I don't know. Maybe. Are you good looking? Because if you're good looking and blonde, then maybe you got a good chance. Australian English and New Zealand English are like the lower tiers of what's in demand here. The top levels are American and British. They're about equal. Canadian too, excuse me. Canadians, you guys are so sensitive, you get left out. Canadians too. And then Australian and New Zealand. But of course, you'll always find that one Japanese guy who needs to learn Australian English because he's going over there. So that's the other thing. So I would say, if you're willing to if you can come over with a lot of money to hold you over until you get that job, then eventually you'll find a job. There's a lot of places. There's still a lot of jobs out there. Anyway, and if you're getting one of those holiday working visas, then theoretically you could probably just live off your savings and private students that you get here and there. So that's the other thing. Okay, but actually the reason I wanted to make a quick video today was to just to tell you about my neighbors. I mean, I really like my neighborhood. We've been living here, I don't know if I told you, after I got married, or right before I got married, I moved in with my wife. We lived in Sin for a little while, and with a dog, too, the three of us all in Sin, in an apartment about a few blocks away from here. And we were taking the dog for a walk one day, and we found an empty lot in this neighborhood, and it was across the street from a little park, which you've probably seen in my videos. And we thought, wow. And there's a sign there that said, we're going to build a house here. If you want to buy this house, let us know. And I went to the place where the company that was putting up the house, and I knocked. It was a really big company, like 20 people living there, working there. And I walked in there, and they were very, very welcoming. And they were like old style Japanese. I mean, like they were old Japanese guys, all of them. There was like one guy who was in his 30s. Everyone else was like 50 and above. Some guy had hair plugs, like the boss had hair plugs. It was quite comical. It almost seemed like a movie. But they were like, "Come on in, sit down. Where are you from? American? Okay, no, okay. Your wife's Japanese, all right. Yeah, we're gonna help you get this house, And they showed me what they were planning to build. And anyway, long story short, we got the house, and it's here. And little by little, we've become friendly with the neighbors. And I think I told you that most of the people in our neighborhood, in fact, I think in our whole ku or ward, this area where we live, I think the average age is like 47, which is kind of old, I mean, for the average, right? Japan, I looked at other other wards or kus, and yeah, a lot of the average ages are really old. It's kind of weird. Anyway, little by little, our neighbors have become friendlier with us. And I want to tell you about this weird thing that happened just yesterday. Okay, first of all, today is Monday. It's 2 a.m. between Monday and Tuesday. And I wasn't going to teach tomorrow, but actually I got demands to teach, so I'm going to teach, which is just to tell you that you're lucky you're getting this video, because I really should be making it. But Saturday night? Saturday night, it was about midnight, and I was sitting on the couch with a drink, watching TV with my wife, and she's like this. She noticed something's happening outside. She goes to the window. She goes, "Oh, there's an ambulance. Something's happening." So I grab my iPhone. I'm like, "Oh, maybe I can film something." I jump out. And as I jump out in the park ahead of me, right in front of our house, these high school kids, start running away, and they start running to my left, and the ambulance and the cops are on the right. But I didn't know there were cops, just ambulance. Anyway, I gave chase. I was like, what's going on? So I started chasing him, and it was almost like it was really stupid because this high school kid ran back to actually my old apartment, and he like hid in the stairwell, but I could just see him like he was hiding behind some bars, and he's like, I walk over there, I'm like, why are you running? He's like, I didn't do anything. I was like, well, why are you running? He's like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, why are you running? And then he said something I didn't quite understand, hodol, which is I'm gonna get. Oh, he said the cops are there and they're gonna report me basically to my parents. They're gonna take me home because I'm not supposed to be out this late. I'm like, how old are you? And he's like 15, and he's like a big MF. MF stands for motherfucker, brother. He's a big MF, and I'm like, wow, you're pretty big for 15. And he's like, actually, I'm kind of short. All the what it was, junior high school kids are really tall. I'm like, god damn, high school kids are getting big. Anyway, he's like, the cops are out there, right? And I said, no, it's an ambulance. He goes, no, they're cops. And I'm pretty sure they're just ambulances. And I said, where are your friends? Like, there were two bicycles. He goes, actually, there were three of us. He's like confessing to everything. The next day I found cigarette butts there, so they were smoking cigarettes. Which is stupid if you're a kid. Just smoking is just so, it's really not cool. And you smell like shit, so you shouldn't smoke just because of that. But anyway, so, and there's a couple YouTubers, by the way, J vloggers who smoke secretly, and you guys are weak bastards. You should stop smoking. And you know who you are. Stop smoking. I say that because I love you, you weak bastards. So anyway, so this kid, what happened next? Damn it, I lost my train of thought. Damn, whiskey makes you lose your mind. So I kind of walk him back, and then when we walk back to the corner and turn it, we look, and it is a cop actually. And oh yeah, he told me his friends, like, who? He goes, oh, there was three of us, and one of them went to the convenience store to get something. He'll be back later. So the kid like takes off, and I tell him "Ganbatte," and actually I recorded the audio, but there's no point. It's all black. I might put it up on my Victor in the World channel just for fun, just so I can remember what happened. But then okay, here's where it gets interesting. It's done, right? But the next day, oh yeah. So I went over the kid ran away or walked away this time. And I walked over to the ambulance. I'm like, hey, what's happening? Because it's like midnight, right? And they're like, oh, please go back to bed or whatever. I'm like, well, what happened? He was like, there was an accident, and it's one of these like parking garages metallic parking garages. It's huge, it's like you can fit, I think, 6 cars across and underground. So basically, the way it works is you drive your car in, and it lowers it or raises it to a different level. So I think theoretically you could fit like 18 cars into this thing. I don't know, but anyway, someone apparently got hurt, and and they took him away, and I really couldn't see what had happened. But the next day I looked, and there's like a puddle of blood there. But there was nothing in the newspapers in it about this. But about a month ago, a kid like fell into the stairwell, like a 3-year-old kid got crushed. It was really sad. So like, oh no, and it was the same exact type of elevator thing. Right? So anyway, the next day, really weird things start. Not 2 days later, I guess. This old woman on the corner brings over plants and gives my wife a flower from her garden, and then brings over a potted plant. And then the neighbor, right immediate to the left of us, brings us over some sushi. And then, like a few minutes later, she brings over another one for my wife. And then the man across the street, who's always been like grumpy and never said hello, he knocks on. He ding dongs the door like 3 times, and I'm like, who's like, he's urgent. I run downstairs. I'm on the second story, right? And he's got like 3 onions, tamanegi. And I'm like, and he's never even talked to us. And we've been living here like whatever, 2 years, 3 years. 2 years, I guess. And I'm like, thank you. But it's weird. And the only thing I can think of is maybe they heard that I chased away one of the neighborhood kids from the park because they were making noise. Because see, apparently everyone who gave me something, not everyone, but the old woman with a potted plant, she didn't know. But the other neighbors, they told me the next day. They said, yeah, these high school kids were being really noisy, and they were bothering us, because it's noisy when you're blabbing in a park, and there's it's a very small park. And, long story short, I think I'm becoming what they call the kaminari oji-san. And the kaminari oji-san is kaminari means like a thunderbolt or something. Oji-san is kind of like old, like middle-aged guy, right? Which I'm still offended by, but not really. But yeah. So I'm the kaminari oji-san. I'm the old loud, the old grumpy man on the street who tells all the kids, "Get out of here! Go back to bed! Go back to." And the funny thing is, I showed my wife and another Japanese friend I let them listen to the iPhone recording, and they were listening to it, just laughing their asses off because I'm like talking to this kid, telling him, "Why did you run away?" And he's like, he's explaining that, if the cops catch me, they're going to take me home. And at the end of it, I'm like, "Well, good luck, kid." And they're like, "No, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say," because the kid says, "I'm going to just go off somewhere." He's like, "I'm going to just go somewhere now." And they're like, "No, you're supposed to tell him to go home. You're not supposed to tell him gambate. You're not supposed to say good luck, man." So yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of stories about Japanese not welcoming you or making you feel accepted, but whether it's because I'm married or to a Japanese, or whether it's because I have a dog, or whether it's because I every third Saturday I get up. Or is it Sunday? Every third Sunday of the month, I get up at 8 a.m. with the neighbors, and I go out and I pick weeds out of the garden, which is kind of our community thing. Like every third Sunday, they ask people to volunteer to come out and pick weeds with with everybody else, and I do it, and not everybody does. But except I do work on the rare occasion I work, or I had a long night. I don't do it, but I go more than most. So I don't know what it is, but obviously, if that grumpy old man across the street is accepting me, I'm doing something right. So there you go. Japan, you can kind of fit in. And again, I don't expect to ever be treated like all the other Japanese, and I don't care. I'm fine as long as they're nice and polite. And I mean, I'm not asking people to give me gifts or anything, but it's a pretty good way to at least gauge how you're doing. I mean, if the gold grumpy guy, who I secretly joked with my wife, I said, "Don't worry about that old guy. He'll be dead soon." If they're all accepting us, then that's going to be okay. Anyway, so that's my little tale for today. Sorry for it to drag out too long. Dude, I don't really like the sound of my voice, but Ross Pro for president. All right. Good night, everyone.